Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Football Manager 2018 with Zebu Nation. This is Loser to Legend with CLYDE FC, and today we have for you the first quarter season update for Season 5 of League 1. Ladbrokes League 1 even. That's right, we did get promoted. It wasn't fantasy, it wasn't a dream, it wasn't some alternate reality. Last season we did get promoted from League 2, and here we are at our quarter season update. Before we take a look at the competitions, though, let's take a look at our coach. That's not our coach. That's our coach. Not necessarily for our stats. Our stats haven't changed much at all. You know, lots of 8s, you know, a 7, and, you know, some outliers there for fitness, discipline, and adaptability. All pretty much the same. We're 100% in Scotland. Our reputation is still 1.5 stars with a national B license. Not able to get that A license just yet. But what we have done is we have crossed a threshold here. We've played over 200 games now with CLYDE FC. I think that's a pretty good record. Over 200 games with a single club. It's a decent milestone. You know, anytime you pass a century mark, I think it's pretty good. We got 86 games won, 42 draws, 73 losses for a winning percentage of 42%. That's okay. That's, you know, we'd like it to be 50%, but that, you know, 50% winning ratio might be like Hall of Fame level numbers. I don't know. It seems like it might be. Any coach I know in the NBA or NHL that has near 50% winning percentage is thought of as being a great coach. So we'll get there maybe eventually one day, but for now, 42% I think is pretty acceptable. Plus 26 goal differential is also okay. 28 goals for, 281 for, 255 against. So, you know, at this stage of our career, I think we're looking pretty good, performing pretty well. We've just sort of hit a barrier right now because we can't get that A license and we can't improve our stats or our standing without that A license. So, you know, until we fix the finances of this club or, you know, get a small business loan or something, I don't know, and get that next license, it's going to be a little bit of a problem for us. All right, so where are we at? It's our first season in League 1, and we're not doing so hot. Down here all the way in 8th place. After 8 games, we got 2 wins, 2 draws, 4 losses. Plus 1 goal differential is okay. Total of 8 points puts us only 1 point ahead of relegation. FORFAR here has 7 points in the relegation. Montrose is looking terrible. They've only got 3 points all season. 1 win, 7 losses. Get out of here. But the board wants us to avoid a relegation battle, so we can't afford any more slip-ups because we haven't been in the relegation zone yet this season, and I don't think it counts as a relegation battle necessarily unless you're sort of bouncing back and forth between relegation and safety, which we haven't done yet. As you can see, look at our league position. We started out in first, and then just sort of a steady slide down here to 8th place. So we got to turn things around. We got to stop this losing streak that we're on, and we got to just improve and play better. It's not that we've played particularly bad. It's just there's just something missing from this team. We got to figure out what it is. All right, so let's roll on right now with the checklist and try to hit this quick and get to the meat of the episode. So checklist starts with under 20s. Not a lot happening in the under 20s. Robbie Hogg is sent down there. We got a bunch of our youngsters. You know, no new intakes. Obviously, we just had our intake at the end of last season, so we're not going to get a new one for a while, and not much has changed down there. Finances, not so good. Negative 118,000 pounds in the bank. We did have a decent month in August, and we lost a lot of debt, I guess you might say. Anyway, we started to balance the books, but then, you know, we started signing some players, and we've reached sort of an equilibrium here. Our finances have flatlined again. We're not losing money per se, but we're not we're not taking out any chunks from this debt. So we got to work on that and figure something out in terms of making some more money. Now, we have been getting good crowds at the games, which is pretty exciting. But so far, the new attendance hasn't been able to make a big dent in our finances. So maybe we'll need to raise ticket prices or something. I don't know. Just find a way to get more fans somehow. All right, board-wise, we're looking good. We are secure at 58%. Now, the board doesn't care about club finances. They got us at 100%. So as far as they're concerned, we're doing a great job. Mostly, I'm sure, due to our control of the payroll. Yeah, they are absolutely delighted with your control of the payroll, but also ask you ensure your prudence doesn't prevent the club from attracting the kind of players it needs to progress. Okay, that's a new one. I don't think I've seen that one before. They also like our leadership support, our locker room atmosphere, all that stuff. They're looking pretty positive there. Now, they have... they obviously won't agree to much having to do with money. They won't give us a new coaching license. They won't improve facilities or anything like that. But they have agreed to a couple of things. We saw last episode they agreed to hire a new coach. We'll take a look at the new coach in a minute. But they also agreed to improve the quality of our junior coaching, which I don't know exactly what that means. If those guys are going to get salary raises, if they're going to get coaching courses, we're going to hire more of them. I don't know what's going to happen in our junior coaches, but they didn't want to improve our junior recruitment level, and they didn't want to improve our junior facilities, so I don't know really how much of a difference it's going to have on the quality of players that we're recruiting. So I guess it's got to help in some way, right? But just not in maybe the more impactful ways. All right. Speaking of the club, we're looking okay. Facilities are still what they've always been. Basic corporate, good field condition, adequate training facilities, below average youth facilities. That's what I want to improve, but I don't know that it's going to happen. Average junior coaching, I guess that's an improvement. I don't remember. And basic, fairly basic youth recruitment. So I guess it's a little bit better than basic. I don't know, but whatever it is, it's not the quality that we want. Are we on the list? Are we? No, we're not on the list. Cudahy and McKinley are still favored personnel. Miller is still an icon of the club, which I mentioned in the last episode, but I forgot to mention why he became an icon to the club, and that is because if you look at his, not his history, you look at his milestones, not only was he named to the Ladbrokes League 2 Team of the Year, but he was named the League 2 Player of the Year. I totally missed that. There was an email like at the very end of the season, even farther ahead than when I simulated, because at the end of last season, you know, we ended it early because we won. We didn't have to bother with the playoffs. So I just kind of skipped forward a while, and we went through a lot of the emails, but this email was incredibly late. It probably took place after the playoffs. Maybe that's why we didn't see it until the very, very end of the season. But Miller did win the Player of the Year last year, so that's outstanding. It's kind of improbable when you look at his league stats from last season. Not really that great. 27 games, 4 goals, 9 assists, 4 players of the match, a 7.4 rating is really good. So maybe he was the highest rated player in the league. I don't know. But the rest of his stats aren't particularly overwhelming. I guess 9 assists is pretty good. I think that might have even been a team record. But I mean, player of the league, I guess. I mean, good on you, Miller, but those stats just aren't overwhelming. It was maybe everyone appreciated all the other things that he brought to the game. The leadership, the mentoring. Well, not really the mentoring. He hates mentoring people. But, you know, his whole joie de vivre that he brings to the game, they gave him an award for it. Good on you, Miller, icon of CLYDE FC. All right, so what do we look at next? Oh, I know. How about transfers? Everybody likes to look at the transfers. Let's take a look at our history. We have signed some players. So first of all, Stephen Ferguson, the attacking center mid that we had on trial earlier in the season. We have signed him on loan from St. Mirren, our affiliate team. He's pretty good. He's actually listed as our most important player, which I don't know about that, but he is pretty talented for a 17-year-old. He's got a lot of pace and quickness, pretty good mental attributes, determination, flair. So this is a guy who can do some good stuff for us. He just hasn't really shown what he can do just yet, but maybe he will. Hopefully he will. We need this kid. All right. Next up, we got Ross McLaughlin, a free transfer. We got 22-year-old center mid. He can even play defensive mid if we need him. He's another guy, pretty good physicals, nice speed, nice decisions, determination, work rate, long shots. I'd like to get this guy forward a little bit more and take some long shots, see if he can score some cheap goals for us. That would be nice. We needed more quality in the midfield, and this guy, as you can see, he's 2.5 stars, but 4-star potential. So at 22 years old, if we play this guy a lot, hopefully he's going to get better and improve and reach that 4-star potential in the next year or year and a half. But if not, he didn't cost us very much. He's only making $9K, which is pretty average for what most of our guys are making. So it's not like he was a big signee or anything like that. We just hope to make the most out of him. Then we got another loan player from St. Mirren, a guy we've had our eyes on for a couple of seasons. This is Dakota King, 20-year-old striker, a 4-star player, maybe 5-star potential if he plays his cards right. But he's got nice speed and quickness. He's a poacher, the only natural poacher we have on our roster, so we need this guy to perform for us. 12 composure, 13 finishing, 13 dribbling, 12 first touch. So a guy we can just send forward, get him the ball in front of the net, and he'll score. That's our hope. Just another one of these guys, but a higher quality of one of these guys. And hopefully we can pair him with some of our other strikers and have a nice mix up there and be what I like to call injury-proof at the striker position, which I think we are at the moment. We got a lot of nice options at striker right now. And then finally, the guy we signed on signing day, the final day of the transfer window, took part in it and signed Gibson out from Queen of the South. They had this guy transfer listed for like £1,000, and we sent him a zero-sum bid, and they were like, oh, sure, we'll just get rid of him, take him off our hands, we don't want him anymore. And he's a guy that we really, really needed because we're incredibly thin at left fullback. And he's a guy who can play. He can play defensive, but he can also play a little bit of offensive. You know, he's got some corners, some crossing, some dribbling, a little bit, at least better than our other guys anyway. Let's put it that way. But where he really is a major upgrade is defensively. 12 marking, 15 tackling. This guy's a tackling machine on that left-hand side. So we should be able to have him be a ball-winning left fullback if that's a thing. I don't know if that's a thing, but we're going to try it with this guy. Hopefully he can get some of those tackles, get stuck in a little bit, win some balls, get the ball forward to our strikers, and you know, have a lot of impact on the game. That's what we're hoping for from Gibson. He was, you know, not a big signing. We got him for free. He's only getting $7,000. We signed him to a rotational contract so that we can bring back Ferguson when he gets healthy without any problems. Gibson's 27 years old, so he's another veteran to add to the team. Something this team kind of needs is a few more veterans. So I think all around a good signee for this guy. Medical center, real quick. Not a lot of injuries. A couple of key injuries, though. Stewart, Lindsay, Hendry, all coming off injuries, not feeling real great. Barry is our big injury currently. He is out for 2 months with some broken ribs. He's, you know, our up-and-coming young center midfielder. So it's not good to have him out of the lineup at this key point in his growth. He's 21 years old now, and you can see his growth has been significant. You look, all his stats are going up, his star rating's going up. Everything is on the positive trend for this guy. And now suddenly he's injured and out of the lineup, and I'm not too happy about it. But, you know, the show goes on in terms of the rest of the team, but for his development, I think this is a bit of a monkey wrench. All right. What else do we got to look at here? Dynamics, real quick. Pretty good. Average match cohesion. I'd like that to go up. Locker room atmosphere is good at the moment, mainly because we just had a team meeting and everybody agreed. I said, hey, like, we're in bad form, don't drop your heads. And they were like, okay, I guess we won't. And so now our locker room atmosphere is back up to good. It was sort of hovering around average or below average. But at the moment, temporarily, it's good. We just need to solidify that with a win this week. Leadership support is, of course, excellent. Hierarchy, pretty much the same as it was. Miller, Cudahy up front. We got a nice core of highly influential players. As you can see, our new guy Gibson is already an influential player. So I think that was a good signing. You know, a lot of times you bring in a young player or something like that, and the mood in the locker room drops. But when we signed Gibson, that didn't really happen, so that was good. Social groups, main core social groups, still looking good, but more players have been joining the Miller Army down here in Social Group B. He's added some influential players to his core of friends. McKinley, Stewart, Barry, Breslin have all joined his young rat pack down here of teenagers that he was hanging out with earlier. So his, he's forming quite the posse down here in Social Group B. And of course, our only guy left out is our lone man, Ferguson, who's supposed to be our best player, but everybody is sort of ignoring him. So, maybe he's got some bad personality traits or something. Doesn't seem like it. Maybe people are just jealous that he's, he's such a highly rated prospect. Anyway, whatever. We'll work him in. We'll get him some friends eventually. Happiness, it's sort of been up and down. We got some mostly happy people, not a lot of unhappy people. So that's pretty good. Actually, our only unhappy person is our reserve goalkeeper, Mullen, who wants to go on loan, but the loan window has closed, so there's not much we can do for him other than to tell him to be patient. So that's what we've done. All right. Oh, yeah, we need to look at coaches real quick. We got a new coach. Where we're looking? We're looking at training. Let's take a look at training, coaches. And as you can see right here, Chris Barker is our new man. He is a 41-year-old Englishman, and he's pretty good. He's got a lot of really nice stats, most notably his mental stats. Determination, discipline, management, motivating. This is our guy who's going to come in and kick some butts and keep everybody's determination and discipline at a higher level. So it's kind of a guy that we needed. He also is a really good judge of talent and ability. So, he's better than our scouts, honestly. So it'll be nice to get guys, bring them in, work with this guy, and we can see where they're at. As far as his coaching, it's just sort of average, but still average is really good for this level. Unfortunately, these stats are like probably some of the best in the league in terms of all overall quality, and they're all 10s and 11s, as you can see here. So it's not like he's a master of anything. He's just sort of a jack of all trades, and that's kind of what we need when we got a small coaching staff like this. And that's why I hired Barker over a couple of other candidates who had maybe higher attributes in a single area. So we got him working on tactics and ball control, which are his leading candidates. Now we could put him on defense, maybe raise our defense up a little bit to 3 stars, or we could even put him on attacking and raise our attacking up to 4 stars. Those are some possibilities. But I think for now, we're going to leave him. We're going to leave him on tactics and ball control and let him improve those over what we've got, because what we got is not that good, honestly. I wonder, can we squeeze a half star? No, we can't squeeze a half star out of Wilson. So, we could improve our defense up to 3 stars in coaching. That might not be a bad idea, actually. I don't know. We'll stick with that and see how it works, because we had to do something with our coaching staff, even though if we look at the actual where is it? Where's the coaching? Training, schedule, transfers. Am I blind? Staff. It's called staff. If you look at our staff window, we have the best coaching staff in the league. by far. We got the best goalkeepers, the best defenders, attacking fitness, mental, everything. Everything except for our sports scientist, who's an amateur, and he's still like third best in the league. So it's not necessarily that we need better coaching in relative to the other teams in the league. We just need better coaching to improve our players, and that's what I'm most worried about, because we want to move up, and we got a lot of young players. We want them to develop, so we need good coaching to develop our players, and hopefully this is a move that helps. All right, that's been enough of that. Don't want to get too deep into this. We'll finish off the checklist there. I don't think we have anything particularly pressing else to look at. So let's look at the schedule, see how we got here. Now, I blame this losing streak on my friends, all right? Because I was rolling along in the regular season. First 2 games, we started out crushing people. We crushed Stanrar, we crushed Montrose 3-0. We were rolling. And then, a bunch of my friends came online and were like, let's play PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. So I quit the game. And since I've come back, the team has played terrible. So, I blame my friends for breaking the mojo that this team has. And we've just had a lot of heartbreakers, Queens of the South, we lost 1-0. Couldn't do anything against them. The weird Iron Brew Cup where nobody showed up for the Iron Brew Cup. 19 people watched us play that game. They sent an email saying it's the lowest attendance in the history of CLYDE FC. So that's pretty bad. They watched us lose on a gusty 66-degree day to the Kilmarnock under-20s. We just couldn't score a goal against them for whatever reason. We had several chances, just none of them went in. And we had a couple of draws against Alloa and Dumbarton. We had to... Dumbarton sounds better. We'll call them that. Those... We should have won those games, I thought, but it just didn't work out. Same with Sterling. Peterhead... We came back against Peterhead, made it 2-2, and then they got a late goal, and we lost that one. And then Brecon, we just couldn't do anything against them. They got up early, scored one late, couldn't do anything. It was just bad times. So hopefully we can break things. This is an important game. It's a game why I decided to come back a little early. Usually I would play 9 games and then show you this video. But we're going to play 8 games and show you this game versus FORFAR, because if you recall in the competitions, they're 1 point behind us. So this is what we're talking about in relegation battle. We need to win this game to avoid being thought of as being a relegation battle, because that'll put us 4 points up of FORFAR, and you can't argue that it's a relegation battle if they're 4 points back. It's just math, I guess. I don't know. Just seems logical to me. So here we go. We're going to play this game versus FORFAR. And as you noticed in the schedule here, we've had some pretty good crowds for our home games. Around 1,000, 1,200 for Queen of the South up here. So the fans are starting to come out. We sold over 500 season tickets, so it's looking pretty good in terms of support here in Cowdenbeath. We just need to start performing and start winning some of these games at home. So here we are. We're going to go back to the diamond formation. We've been switching back and forth from different formations because we've had a packed schedule, but now I think we can settle back down on the diamond. And I decided to put in all of our highest rated players with the exception of Gibson, who's only played 1 game for us. So his average rating isn't really an average rating. It's just 1 game. So, he wasn't quite match fit. You can't blame him for that. So, yada, yada, yada. Making excuses to put our new signee in the lineup. So let's submit that team. Lacking some match fitness, that's fine. Let's move on, move ahead, keep rolling. So we got a fairly sparse crowd today. I don't know what's up with that. They're going with the 4-4-1-1. Looks like they got some pretty attacking wingers here. 5, no, not this guy. Maybe these guys are just dropping back. Yeah, it looks like these guys are just dropping back. Sinclair and Jordan. Looks like their best player here is James Dale, highest rating with a 6.92. That's not too good. Their captain, Milne, up here has most assists, 3 goals, 3 assists. So this doesn't look like a particularly dangerous team, but here we are. We got Curry in goal, of course. Gibson, as I mentioned, at fullback with Finlayson. Morrison and Kessie. Kessie taking the captain's armband today. That's an interesting turn of events. Those two have played well and played well together, especially Kessie. He's got over a 7 rating. I'm surprised he's not our highest rated player. We've dropped Miller back to defensive midfield because, you know, our other defensive midfielders have just been playing poorly, including Cudahy. We got Connolly and McLaughlin in the midfield. Daknovich is got our most assists, 3 assists. He's been playing very well, 6.98 rating, 2 goals. Played in 10 games for us this year, so that's pretty good. Got our new striker King up front, and then of course Peters, our leading goal scorer from last year, is still our leading goal scorer, is still our highest average rating player, 7.34, 8 goals on the season in 9 games. So he hasn't been the problem necessarily. It's been, you know, our other players who haven't been able to step up. So we need to step up our game here and put an end to our recent string of bad results. Let's go. Kick off. There we go. There's the stands I've been looking for. That's a pretty good crowd, especially when compared to our other seasons. Now, it's not a good crowd when you look at how big this stadium apparently is. I think Sports Interactive needs to tone down the size of some of these stadiums. Nice tackle by Finlayson. Because I watch other streamers who actually go and they look at the stadiums that they're in, and, like, you know, look at Google Earth and click around, and the stadiums are always much smaller in reality than they are in Football Manager. So maybe they just need a little bit more variety of stands. Oh, here we go. Peters, not much of a shot there, but at least it was on goal, on target. So yeah, it's like, I don't know that the Clyde Stadium really looks this big. Maybe it does, I don't know, but we'll have to take a look at some pictures of it. But it just seems like way more empty, and it seems way larger than it should. It's only like a 6,000 seat stadium. It just doesn't seem, I don't know. Scale and proportion is all off. That was an interesting cross. Sweeney's going to get to it, but there's Gibson. There's our new man, sends it downfield. There's a rocket. What? He ran over our dude. Like, that's a foul, right? Get out of here. That's a foul. Yeah. Disallowed for pushing another player. Get out of here, Davidson, you brute. All right, there's King, our new striker. Heads it back to Conley. Conley's been getting a little bit more playing time because he's been playing so well. McLaughlin, another new man. We got a lot of new players all around. Daknovich, not a great pass. They're going to try to hit us on the counterattack. Crawford, looks like our defense is there. Did Curry have to make a stop on that? It looks like it. So they're going to get a corner out of this. I don't like how they're counterattacking, but Kessie, nice header. McLaughlin can't get to it. Sweeney with the shot. All right. Gotta figure out, let's see, what are... We're just going standard right now. Work the ball in the box. They got another corner. Let's get it out of there. Miller, nice header. Sweeney again with a shot. Luckily, they're not playing too well, but I would like for our team to have some more highlights. That would be good. Let's go, boys. Do something. There we go. Miller with the corner. That's what we need. Not a great one. But Peters tracks it down. Wow, he had an open goal, and he just missed it wide. That was kind of strange positioning by the goalkeeper. He was caught just standing there like a tree in the center of the goal. He didn't come out at all. So maybe we should throw a concentrate on these boys and say, like, you know, let's hit the target. How about that? Let's you know, you got composure. Both of these boys up front have decent composure. All right, let's settle it down. Gibson, nice play. Let's get it ahead. Conley, Daknovich. I'd like Daknovich to be playing a little bit more far forward. That's a risky pass, but McLaughlin saves it to King. He can't get the header. Daknovich again. McLaughlin gets in there. Nice attempt, I guess. He's being aggressive. That's good. Daknovich is not playing well. He's got a 6.6 rating right now, but just, you know, eyeballing him, it looks like he's making a lot of mistakes out there. He's getting tackled. He's getting roughed up, making poor passes that his teammates are having to adjust to a little bit much. Gibson sends one in. It was an interesting deflection. Nobody really went after it. There we go. Curry is looking motivated in goal. That's always good. Peters is a little frustrated not getting the ball. I don't know about this advanced forward poacher combination, if that's really the best combination, because we got both guys, you know, trying to lead the attack. And the advanced forward being so far forward might, you know, oh God, Crawford, nice stop by Curry. With the advanced forward always ranging forward, it might break the poacher's mojo, you know, because the poacher's trying to lull the defense into sleep and then break behind them. But if they're always watching the advanced forward, they might, oh, there's a foul. Get out of here, Davidson. Is he going to get card for that? Nope. Finlayson's a little bit injured. What has he got going on? Potential knee injury. I don't like the sound of that. Probably going to have to take him out, bring in Breslin, who is not the most offensive of guys. 4 crossing. Yay, Breslin. He can do a decent job defensively, but it's not really what we need from this diamond formation. We need fullbacks that can get forward, and Breslin's not really his forte. Okay, 2 minutes left. In extra time. Not been a terribly exciting first half. I would have appreciated a few more highlights. They got 2 shots on target. We got 1. They got a yellow card and 6 fouls. We got 52% possession. I guess that's okay. But other than that, we're kind of lacking. What's our analysis here? Finlayson's an injury. Bruised knee. That's not too bad. And we should close down on Dale. All right, we'll work on that at halftime. Team talk. Go out there and give these fans their money's worth? No, nobody ever cares about that. All right, Finlayson's back up to 72%. I guess we can keep him in there for a little while since it's just a bruise. That shouldn't be too bad. Let's start the second half. Let's start with our analysis. Close down on Dale. Gibson now to Connolly. This is the first half of the highlight. Send it forward to King, who doesn't appear interested in that. He just sort of stood there. What's his rating? What's King doing? I don't know. Here's Kessie. Nice interception, gets it to Finlayson. Our team is just out of whack at the moment. Davidson, Dagnovich, let's see if he can make up for something. Nope, just takes a wild shot, but King is there. Nobody's going after the ball. What is up? Show some passion. Let's go. Come on. Let's get after the ball. Finlayson. Bruised knee and all. Throws it into Peters. Ball's intercepted. Looks like a counterattack possibility for FORFAR. This is how we've lost most of our games. Getting counterattacked. Getting one highlight where they sneak in a goal and then they just shut it down on us. Sweeney. Nice defensive play there. I think that was Kessie who got a foot on that. Alright, they're going to get a corner out of it. Milne. Captain sends it in, but Conley to McLaughlin. Let's start the counterattack, boys. Here we go. Dagnovich cannot outrace the defense. I think we're a little slow this year compared to this league. Peters gets it stolen, but gets it back. Dagnovich. He's got a man making a run. He doesn't see him. Gets it wide to Gibson. Gibson going to take it on himself. Nice centering pass to Dagnovich. It's kind of disappointing. Finlayson, alright. He's gone down to 69%. We'll get him out at the 60-minute mark. Kessie's not looking particularly good ratings-wise. King, Peters, also not looking good. We got some decisions to make here in terms of who to bring in. Alright, looking at the 60-minute mark, we're going to bring in Breslin. That's a no-brainer. Now, what are we looking at? What are we looking at here? Scott and Pemberton on the bench. Probably should have had Cudahy on the bench, just in case. You know, we could bring in Ferguson for Dagnovich and you know, see if he makes a difference. Maybe he can get those two strikers moving and motivated with a little bit of youthful enthusiasm and some pace, honestly. Because as I was starting to say, I think our team is a little bit slow comparatively, or at least they seem slow comparatively. Maybe not. Maybe it's just me, but I mean, look at some of these. No, 5 to 12 pace. I guess we don't really know, do we? It just seems that way. 10 to 18 pace on the defensive side. I'm looking at FORFAR and just trying to see what sort of pace they have. I guess they've got decent pace, but I don't know if it's really that good. It's just hard to tell because our scouts are so bad. Peters to King. King back out wide to Breslin. Can he do something with it? Can he make a play? Sends it into McLaughlin. Header on target. That was our best offense of the day so far, so that's outstanding. Our substitutes having a bit of an impact. Miller now sends it back to Ferguson. Peters going to reset the offense here, hopefully. Yep, back out wide to Miller. Ferguson, let's see, young man, what can you do with it? Drops it to Conley, who takes a shot. Not a great shot. Would have been nice. What's his long shooting? I don't think it's very good. We'd rather, yeah, it's 5. We'd rather McLaughlin be taking those shots, right? Yeah, 13. Let's get him some shots from distance. Let's get anything, honestly. I'm sick of these games that are going 0-0 into the 80th minute and then we lose some stupid fluky goal in the 90th minute. Seems to be how things are going these days. King sitting at a 6.2. We can't have that. We don't have much to bring in. We could bring in McKinley. Maybe we could play McKinley as a target man. Yeah, sure, target man, why not? Just something different in there. I don't think having 2 advanced forwards is the way to go. I'm not sure the poacher and advanced forward combination is really that great. At least it didn't prove to be great in this game, that's for sure. They didn't do much of anything. We get McKinley in there, maybe he's got that assistant captain's armband. Let's give him something to do. 88 minutes. Just nothing happening. Get creative. Here we go. Miller. Free kick. Can he win it with a free kick? Nope, but he's going to get a corner out of it. That's good. Specialty teams man doing his job. Let's see if Kessie can make a run to the short corner. He does not particularly look interested. McLaughlin tries to send one back post, but nobody was in position. There's a nice thought. 4 minutes of stoppage time. We're going to end up with another draw here. Keep us 1 point ahead of FORFAR. I guess that's nice, but got to figure something out. Maybe we go to the 4-3-3 formation and just try to force it. Just say put 3 strikers in there and go nuts. But I don't know. There's just something missing from this team, and we got to figure it out. Team talk. Far from pleased. Get out of here. We should have beat these guys. We need to beat these guys if we're going to, avoid the dreaded relegation battle. Good news is we got a lot of distance between us and the last place team. Maybe less distance if they won their game this week. That would put them at 6 points and us at 9. So only 3 points away, but take a look at the competitions. No, they did not win their 9th game. They're still sitting there at 3 points. But still only 1 point separates us and FORFAR. That was a chance for us to put some distance between us. But now we got a dogfight on our hands. We got some tough games coming up. Queen of the South is up there. Dumbarton, Sterling, Peterhead. Those are usually tough games. Montrose, not so much. Maybe we can pick up a win there since they're playing so poorly. We better pick up a win there. If we can't beat them this year, I don't know that we're going to be beating anybody. So we got the next 9 games to go. We got a Scottish Cup game coming up versus unknown opponent, but we have not been able to snap out of this streak. We now are on an 8-game winless streak. if you count the Iron Brew Cup, that's no good. That's no way to stay up in the league. So, got to figure some things out and do some experimentation and see what's up. So, we'll do that and then come back. And until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
They call the CLYDE, who will fill your heart with pride. Dressed up in the red and black, we an L sign on the back. They've a winger and a keeper and a great big carpet sweeper. It's the bully.